Welcome to the 4G channel. This is episode number 19, and today we're doing part 2 of something called To Whom Much is Given, Much is Required. In Luke 12:48, we saw this in part 1. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And to whom they entrusted much, of him will they ask all the more. It sounds like a fair proposition, actually. Matthew 25:14, we read this. For it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to his ability. And then he, the master, went away. So the master went away after doing at least an intellectual assessment of 3 of his servants and their abilities to handle his resources. And he gives 1 5, 1 2, and 1 1. So obviously he had a higher opinion of servant number 1 with 5 talents than he did the other 2. And servant number 2, he thought twice as much of him because he gave him 2 talents instead of just 1. So he's gone away, and their job while he's gone will be to invest their master's talents and resources in hopes of getting a return for the master. The servants were given unequal amounts based solely upon the knowledge and judgment of the master. He's the one that knew them, and it's his resources, so he gets to decide. The servant with 5 portions doubled his master's investment, as did the servant with 2 portions. So these guys they did well. Matthew 25:18, but he who had received 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. So he's not putting the money to work at all, or the resources of the master to work at all. He's just hiding them. He's dug a hole and put them in the ground. At best, he's going to keep them safe. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. Matthew 25:20 reads like this, and he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here, I've made 5 talents more. Doubled his return. Pretty good. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also, who had the 2 talents, came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here, I have made 2 talents more. Not bad. Again, doubled the resources for his master. Verse 23, his master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. Notice he says the same thing to the guy who went from 2 to 4 as he did to the guy who went from 5 to 10. He says, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. Same reward. Matthew 25:24. Now here's where it gets a little dicey with the guy who had 1 talent and hid it. He also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward saying, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. Now I'm not so sure his master was really like that. If we're making this analogous to Jesus going away and us using his resources, we know Jesus isn't that way. So he sees his master as somebody who's kind of a fraud, a cheater. So he says, I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, have what is yours. So while the first guy doubled, the second guy doubled, this guy didn't add anything to his master's investment and resources. But his master answered him, you wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I've scattered no seed? See, it comes in the form of a question, meaning the master probably wasn't like that. The servant was probably exactly like his master described him, slothful or lazy and wicked. So we come back to this question. What did you do with what you were given? So in this parable, the master obviously is Jesus, and he has gone away waiting for his second coming. The servants we are the servants in this parable. We have all been given a certain amount of time, talent, and treasure. We are to put it to work for the Lord. So one day, our master will come back, and we'll have to answer this question. What did you do with what you were given? Please, please, plan to have an answer when you stand before your Savior. You will definitely want to do more than just shrug your shoulders. You would much rather hear, enter into the joy of the Lord, wouldn't you? If you like my content, if you like my channel, please like this video, share it, and if you're willing, please subscribe to the channel. It'll help us get the word out. May God bless you.